Today is Saturday, November the 18th. My name is Daiki Tsumagari. Do I have your permission to record this interview?
Yes, you do.
Could you please tell me your name?
Jeff Barnes.
In your experience, how has Petworth changed over your time being here?
Well, I was born here, and I think I've seen two kind of changes. I've seen changes in when crime was high and the economy was low. Now it appears that the crime is not as high and the economy is not as low, and now it's a more mixed culture here. And
Would you say there's been things lost through these changes, things gained through these changes that you observed?
well, there's been a lot of loss here and gain. It's lost and gain here, and one of the things is we're caught up in the middle of politics here in Washington because we don't have our own statehood, and so therefore you pretty much have to accept what they bring to you. And the housing has gone up tremendously high. When I moved here, when a basic 3-bedroom house between 16 to 18,100 square feet, you can buy it for between $15,000 to $20,000. I don't think you can get anything now here in Washington for less than $350,000 or $400,000. And the housing is a major factor, not just here, but most in the country. And because the housing is so high and way above the minimum wage, makes it pretty difficult for the average person to be able to even afford a room. So the change have affected a lot of the lower class people, or people that don't make as much, which is not just in this city, but throughout the country. It's going to have to be dealt with. You can't get around it. It's got to be dealt with.
You said that there's been some things gained as well through kind of the changes you've observed over your time here.
What we have gained here is information, and social media have made it now where more truth is able to come out and no longer can be hid. So the biggest gain we have here is the process to gain information, and therefore we can use that information now to begin to divide the good from the bad.
Are there any places, specific places in Petworth that you feel represent this community the most? Represent your place in this community, maybe?
I think the change is being made all over almost practically at the same time. So it's not a particular place. It's the whole place is moving toward an area for what we could call the well-doers. Unfortunately, it forces a lot of people out that have been living here for years, like senior citizens. Even if you got a government job and you're retired and you may have your house paid for, but the mere fact that utilities, taxes, insurance is pretty much so high where the average senior is forced to sell their house because they barely can get enough to eat after you pay your utilities, taxes, and insurance. Taxes now, because of the rates of houses have gone up so high, is forcing a lot of senior citizens that have been here for years out of the city. I don't find that we are doing enough to be able to deal with that. And to me, it is necessary. And until we are able to deal with that, we're not going to, I don't see the greater process for all cultures.
Do you have a favorite memory in Petworth, of your time in Petworth?
A favorite? I had a house right here on 8th and Upshur. And I think the open market, as far as the way that we have flea markets and stuff like that is great. But I can't see for everyone that it is progressing. I find it is progressing real good, like I say, for the well-doers. And I see more Caucasian people here, and this progress is mostly for them, but not the black race, not the Spanish race. It's almost singled out for a particular race, and which is unfortunate, you know.
What would you envision or hope for Petworth 5 years from now, 10 years from now, just in the future going forward?
Well, I don't think we can separate Petworth from the entire city because it's all linked together. What we're hoping for is a new, or have somewhat created a new process like they did with Black Wall Street, because right now the process that's in place now governs and monitor who get what, where, and how. You can, the average person that even want to buy a house now, even in Petworth, the first thing you need is credit score. Credit scores, check, stubs, income tax. You never get to see the underwriter. Appraisals that come in and appraise houses for you, and they appraise it according to, if they like you, according to the race you are. I don't see a great thing that's happening until that process is changed. Because as long as they have a system that can govern and monitor who gets what where, it will be totally unfair.
Is there anything else you'd like to observe, add, have a conversation about Petworth?
If we can get a new process put in place or modify the one that is in place, where it can be more diverse. I can't foresee that the improvement fairly will be made. I find that if we can put in a different process that would eliminate credit scores, check stubs, and 3 years of income tax. Perhaps you can have check stubs if you can make a job, and we can modify the system where the average person that makes $15 an hour can afford a decent house. Then we are moving forward, not only in Petworth, not only in DC, but in the nation. In the nation. Because if you got a job making bare $15 an hour, you can barely get a room. And most businesses now, they don't want people that, they don't want to hire employees that full-time because they have to pay. Then they got to pay insurance, benefits. So the system, when I came from a long time ago, they didn't have this kind of process in play. You get a job, you can work 40 hours. Now you work 35 hours, it's classified as part-time. So you got to go out now with the little money that you make and get your own insurance and benefits and try to save up for that way. So it's not for the greater good, the way the system have revolved itself. What have been good is cameras everywhere. Information there, you could go on the phone. When I was growing up, if you had encyclopedias, you pretty much had knowledge to a lot of things. Now all you need is your telephone, and you can go all over the world. And that's what makes this, what gives it the playing, what they feel, a more level playing ground. Mm-hmm.
Thank you for sharing your story. And, thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.